myself to having a great voice, you know. I still don't think that I have reached my great voice potential.
Oh, come on.
I don't. I've done some great material. I've done some great work. And it's hard for me to listen to myself and say, oh, yeah, you really sound good. You know what I'm saying? I am very critical of myself, you know.
You were only 19 years old when you were signed to Arista Records. How did you handle the success so fast at such a young age?
Well, see, I have a mother that helps me to keep my feet on the ground, you know what I'm saying? She's the kind of mom, you know, both my parents are realists, you know, and they have always made it very important to let me know that, you know, they can tell you they love you, they can tell you you're wonderful, they can tell you you're great, but mommy and daddy are going to tell you the truth, you know, and we love you because you're ours. We love you not because you're Whitney Houston, you're famous.
And her fame is branching out onto the big screen. Houston is currently filming Bodyguard, her first movie, and her co-star just happens to be Kevin Costner.
Not bad, Whitney.
Yeah, that's not bad, huh? And all of a sudden I get this call from this guy named Kevin, and he asked me if I wanted to do a film with him. And I said, well, I don't know, you know, what's this film about?
And here Kevin Costner's like begging you to do a movie with him.
I didn't beg me.
Well, he's like asking you.
Yeah, he asked me.
And you had to think about it.
Well, you know, yeah, because I wanted to know what it was about, you know.
Well, you're quite critical of yourself as a singer. How do you think you are as an actress?
Oh, I don't know, you know.
You don't look at those dailies?
And those early mornings. Ooh. Can we talk about the early mornings? That's the hardest part.
I guess I don't have to worry about you trying to get my job on the Today Show then,
No,
huh?
baby, you got that. You got that. No. I feel so blessed to just have done what I have done. To be able to just use what God has given me is a blessing. You know, never mind the Grammys, never mind the records, never mind all of that. Just to be able to sing and to have people, you know, when I stand on stage and I look out in the audience and I'm singing and I look at people's faces, I know what's in their hearts and I know what they're feeling. And as long as that's happening for me and as long as I keep that rapport, I'll keep singing. I'm going to keep doing it.
Let me tell you something. In the shower, I sound just like you.
In the shower, I sound just like me, too.
I should be so lucky. Now, if you want to check out her acting talent, her movie Bodyguard is scheduled to open this summer. And
Whitney Houston was born August 9, 1963, the daughter of Sissy and cousin of Dionne Warwick. Houston started her career in 1983 when Clive Davies, the head of Arista Records, sees and hears potential in Houston at a showcase arranged by Arista's executive Jerry Griffiths and signs her to a worldwide contract. With the help of her mother and cousin Dionne Warwick guiding her career from singing gospel to backing vocals, in 1985 she releases her first single, You Give Good Love. December sees the release of Sending All My Love, which becomes an immediate worldwide success. Her debut album, entitled Whitney Houston, spends 100 weeks on the charts, becoming one of the biggest selling albums of that year. In 1986, her song, The Greatest Love of All, tops the U.S. charts on its release. She also wins an Emmy Award for her individual performance. In April 1988, Houston breaks all chart records by achieving 7 consecutive hits, overtaking the previous holders, the Beatles and the Bee Gees, who had 6 each. In 1989, Houston wins Female Pop and Soul Artist Awards at the American Music Awards. In August of 1989, Houston duets with longtime friend Aretha Franklin. While preparing for her new album, She is showered with scripts by Robert De Niro and friend Eddie Murphy. However, after long deliberation, she decides on The Bodyguard, a film starring Kevin Costner. In May 1990, Houston receives the 1990 Hitmaker Award at the Songwriters Hall of Fame at the Hilton Hotel in New York. That same year, she attends a celebration at the White House for Children's Day. In January 1991, Houston wins an award for Distinguished Achievement by the American Cinema Foundation. She also captures America's heart by performing the Star-Spangled Banner at Super Bowl 25. Demands for the performance result in a single and video release. 1992 sees the release of The Bodyguard with co-star Kevin Costner, and although critics disliked the film, it still earns $125 million at the box office, with world sales of the soundtrack at 23 million copies. Whitney Houston later marries music star Bobby Brown, and in 1993, they have their first child. Future projects for Whitney is a remake of the film A Star is Born.
She's sold more than 40 million albums worldwide and won both Grammy and Emmy Awards. Now one of the top female vocalists in pop music is making her film debut. Her name is Whitney Houston, and the movie is The Bodyguard. Whitney Houston,
Bodyguard. Hi.
good morning.
Good
Welcome
morning.
to today. Nice
Thank
to
you.
see you.
Thank you.
So, how was it? Acting, did you
Ooh.
like it? I mean, was it fun?
Yeah, it was fun. You know, there was times that it was very hard. You know, took a lot of discipline to do a movie. You know, it's different from videos and music. You know, it's more confining. You know, but yeah, I had a great time, great experience.
What made you to decide to try your hand at acting, and why now, and why this movie?
I don't know. It just seemed like a natural progression, you know, another form of entertaining, you know. I wasn't really on a mission, you know, looking for a movie. I just decided that I wanted to do a movie, you know. I didn't know what kind of movie, I didn't know, you know, what kind of person I wanted to play, you know, as long as she was, you know, a good girl and had some integrity and some dignity. You know, that was my position. I really didn't, you know, say, I'm going to do this movie and I'm going to go out on this, you know, big journey to look for it. It just kind of came my way.
How did it come your way, Whitney? Did Kevin Costner approach you about this role, and how did it all come about?
He did. I got word that he had a script written by Larry Kasdan, written about 15 years ago, more than that, and that he was very interested in me playing the role of opposite him. And I didn't believe it, you know, so I called my agent and I said, you know, I'm hearing, you know, Kevin wants me to play this part in his next movie. And she said, well, let me find out. And she did. She said, yeah, it's true. You know, he wants you to play this part. So I said, really? So, you know, conversation began with his people and my people. And I finally got a script, you know, and I read it. And I waited for so long that he called me one day and he said, girl, what? Girl? When are you going to do this movie? Why aren't you going to do this movie with me? I said, well, Kevin, I haven't decided that I am or that I'm not. I'm just really trying to be careful about what I pick and choose, you know. So he said, listen, he said, I'm telling you something. If you do this movie with me, I guarantee you it will be something you'll be proud of. So I said, yeah, okay. So I started reading the script, you know, and I started, you know, getting into it and looking over it and stuff and seeing if it was really right for me. And you know, I took my time with it, you know, and he was getting impatient with me, I think. So he called me again. He said, okay. He said, I'm telling you, you got to do this movie. I mean, it was late at night, too. You got to do this movie, Whitney. And if you don't do this movie, I've just decided that I'm just not going to do it because I want you to play this part. You're the person to play this part. So, you know, after some time, I said, okay, Kev, I'm going to do this movie. You know, I think I can do this.
You certainly put a lot of thought into it, though, obviously.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Well, before we talk more about your character and about Kevin Costner on screen and off screen, we have a clip from the movie The Bodyguard.
Oh, okay.
This is when Kevin Costner has to make an important decision. Let's take a look.
Okay.
And he wanted to Let me ask you a little bit about your character in the movie, Rachel Marin. She is somewhat like Whitney Houston, isn't she?
Somewhat. She is.
Describe her and tell me how you are alike.
I think the one thing that makes us very much alike is the fact that we both do the same thing. You know, she's an entertainer, and so am I. So I understand that world in which she comes from, in which she is surrounded by. I think the fact that she's a strong and very independent person is very much like myself. Once she decides that she's going to do something, she's going to do it, and nobody can change her mind. It's very much like me, you know. But there are great differences.
Like?
Rachel is the kind of person who likes to be adored and admired and likes to be paid attention to at all times.
And you don't?
No.
Why not?
No, I don't need that much, you know. I'm basically a to myself kind of person, you know. I'm very comfortable with myself, you know. I don't need someone telling me all the time, you're great, you're beautiful, you're fabulous, you're this, you're that, you know. I'm pretty secure with myself and knowing what I am and who I am. You know, Rachel is not as secure. She's a little, you know, she wants to be told all the time, you know. She likes a lot of people around her. I don't like a lot of people around me, you know. She loves that. She lives the business. She drinks it, she sleeps it, she loves it. She wakes up wanting to be in it, you know. Not me.
Both Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner had almost everything to do with the impressive $24 million their new movie, The Bodyguard, grossed over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. In the second part of my interview with Whitney Houston, I asked her what it was like working with her co-star.
I had the best time working with Kevin. You know, first of all, Kevin's the kind of person, he's a regular kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people see Kevin and they say, oh God, how was it being next to him? How was it working with America's hunk and all that stuff, you know? But I'm telling you, you know, from day to day, you know, working with him, you know, I saw the man that, you know, was the actor, you know, part director, you know, producer, you know, who cared about, you know, your lines, what words you were saying, you know, all that stuff. When we came in the morning, it wasn't like, you know, we weren't sex symbols at all. You know, we were ready to work, you know. That was the
It wasn't
thing.
intimidating at all, being around him?
No, because he made it very comfortable for me. You know, he was kind enough and gracious enough to ensure that I was comfortable. You know, being that it was my first film, and he understood that, and he knows what it can be like to be doing your first film. So he was really kind and very, very, very kind.
What kind of advice did he give you in terms of your acting? I know you offered to take acting lessons, and they said not to.
Yeah, yeah.
What did he tell you? What sort of suggestions did he give you?
The most important thing I think that Kevin taught me in acting is to listen. You know, to have contact, to speak without really saying words, to look at each other, and to speak with your eyes. You know, sometimes dialogue can get in the way. You know, of what you're really. When people look at you, they see what's in here. You know, and in here. You know, and he taught me that this is the most important place, right in here. Your eyes are going to tell the story.
Now, Whitney, girl. Girl. I've been reading that Kevin Costner cut out some of your nude scenes. Is that true, or is this just some fodder for the tabloids, or what's the deal here?
Wow. Well, he cut out some nude scenes, but they weren't mine. They were somebody else's.
Oh, I see.
didn't do any nude scenes. No, it was my double.
Your body double?
God bless her. Yeah. I guess, you know, it's all in the edit, you know. And when you go in that room, you know, they know pretty much what looks good and what doesn't, you know, so you kind of leave it up to the editor.
Were you approached about doing nude scenes by Kevin
no,
or by
I
anybody
wasn't.
else?
That was already, I didn't even, you know, leave that open for questioning. You know, when I did my contract, that was already said that, you know, Whitney will not be showing any bod.
Just something you didn't feel comfortable doing?
No, you know, to simulate, you know, making love is one thing, you know. Just to be on a set where there are a lot of people watching you do something that is a very intimate act is an uncomfortable feeling already. So therefore, I just couldn't imagine myself doing that with my clothes off. I would not have made it, you know. I just would not have, you know. And not that I think that there's anything wrong with being comfortable with your nudity, but it just wasn't right for me.
Wasn't your thing.
Not my thing, no.
You do a lot of singing in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Was that fun to be able to sort of mix both of your careers?
Yes, it was. Actually, it was a release, you know, from being disciplined toward, you know, being an actress, you know. You know, there were moments when I said, oh God, you know, I'm just not going to make it. This is really, you know, the 6 o'clock in the mornings and being ready at 8 and having to be fabulous by 8:30, you know, and they're doing a close-up shot on you at 8 o'clock, you know, and all that kind of early morning stuff that it's not really my kind of thing.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, like today. But, you know, to do the music was kind of like going home for me. This is the song. This is the song that's going to tie this movie together for me, you know, and I think for everyone else when they see it.
So he convinced you to sing this song.
Kevin really loves music. He's you know, he just loves it. He can reach back into like the 60s and go, remember this song? You know, he's that
Can he
kind
sing?
He's got a nice voice.
Really?
Yeah, he
Oh.
does. He does. He can hum a tune.
So what's ahead for you? What's next on your agenda other than being a mother, which
Having a
is
baby.
going to be a very
else could there
time-consuming
be?
job?
Having a baby, you know, I'm looking forward to that. Raising a child, you know, hearing mommy, you know. That's what's foremost in my head right now, you know. I can't, the movie's done, you know, the soundtrack's done. Thinking about doing a gospel album, you know. So, you know, I'm just kind of like, you know, going with the flow.
Kind of mellow.
Yeah. I just want to have this baby.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a very big event in your life. Take it from me. I wish you so much happiness.
Thank you so
with your
much.
family, and our
Thank
best
you.
to your husband, Bobby Brown.
Thank you.
It's great to talk to you.
Thank
Whitney
you. Good
Houston.
talking to you,
The
too.
movie is The Bodyguard.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be back after this.
With the success of The Bodyguard, Whitney Houston has decided to take on the role that Janet Gaynor created, Judy Garland made famous, and Barbra Streisand revived. A Star is Born.